President Donald Trump led an extensive cabinet meeting that stretched on for hours. The segment accessible to the press lasted an impressive 3 hours and 17 minutes, featuring an extensive question and answer period. This duration set a remarkable precedent in recent history, a fact Trump aptly noted by stating, "This has never happened." "It's an open government, that's what we are," he said. Trump addressed an extensive array of subjects, including tariffs, as well as the conflicts in Ukraine and Gaza. Here's all you need to know. The broadcast meeting held at the White House extended for nearly half of the workday. Trump dismissed remarks made by Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, who indicated that Moscow would refrain from signing a peace agreement with the Ukrainian president, citing a lack of recognition of Zelensky's legitimacy. Reacting, Trump said, "It does not matter what they say, everybody is posturing." Trump has been subjected to numerous inquiries regarding Russia's genuine intentions to negotiate a resolution to the conflict, particularly following his announcement that Zelensky and Putin are set to meet soon. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff expressed his belief that Trump should be nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize, highlighting his endeavors to facilitate peace in various global disputes. The remarks made by Witkoff were met with applause from other members of the cabinet who supported his perspective.
Russia-Ukraine situation. Last week, 7,012 soldiers, 7,012 soldiers died. They were Russian, they were Ukrainian, they weren't American, so a lot of people would say, what do you care? They're not American. I care. They're 12,000. Over the last couple of weeks, over 12,000 people died in like in 2 weeks. You know, we're talking about crime where somebody's killed here or somebody. Think of it, you have your son leaving Russia, leaving Ukraine, their little house, wherever they live with their parents, they're waving goodbye, just like our parents would wave goodbye. And they're waving goodbye, son. And then a week later, his head's blown off in a stupid war by a drone, a whole new form of military problem. So, no, I'd like it to stop. I want to get it to stop. And it will not be a world war, but it will be an economic war. And an economic war is going to be bad. And it's going to be bad for Russia, and I don't want that. Now, I have to also see, because not everybody, you know, Zelensky's not exactly innocent either, okay? You know, it takes two people to tango. And I say it all the time. You got to get them together. I get along with Zelensky now, but we have a much different relationship because now we're not paying any money to Ukraine. You know, stop that. We're paying money to ourselves. What's happening is NATO is buying all of the equipment and paying in full. But even with that, forget about that. I want to get it stopped because it's a lot of lives that are being lost. Every week it's 7,000, 5,000, 6,000. I get the reports and I see battlefields. I'd rather not see them. And you know, you read about Gettysburg. You read about Gettysburg and you see, you know, those 600,000 people, but in that war in particular was really bad, like 150,000 or something, just dead body. I'm seeing the same. I see pictures. I see satellite pictures of heads over here, arms over here, legs over here. And this is like a modern age. It's no different than the worst wars that I've ever seen.
And there's only one thing I wish for, that Nobel Committee finally gets its act together and realizes that you are the single finest candidate since the Nobel Peace, this Nobel Award was ever talked about, to receive that reward. Beyond your success is game-changing out in the world today. And I hope everybody one day wakes up and realizes.
In the initial 25 minutes of his cabinet meeting at the White House, Trump highlighted his tariff policy and legislative successes, asserting that the nation's accomplishments would not have been possible without his re-election. Trump said the U.S. is becoming so successful again. The United States president added, "If I did not win this election, this country was gone."
If I didn't win this election, this country was gone. I'm telling you, economically it was gone. None of the things that we're talking about would have happened. and the whole world was robbing us blind. Friend and foe. They were stealing our jobs, our money, our factories. They were stealing everything. We would have been a shell. We would have been a bankrupt, broken shell. And that's the way it is, but we're doing just the opposite. Stronger than we've ever been.
Donald Trump is just the second president in the United States history to serve 2 non-consecutive terms. He's the first U.S. president in over 120 years and the second ever to lose the White House and then come back to win it again after Grover Cleveland in 1892.